He's the chairman of the Republican House Policy Committee. He's known as the rock and roll Republican, and he once ate an entire cow at a state fair. We're pleased to bring back to the program Michigan Congressman Thaddeus McCotter. He knows drafting bills like I know popping pills. Hey, Congressman, how you doing?
How are you, Greg? Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again as well. Always a pleasure. Hey, you know, we've been talking about the judge, not the nomination of the Supreme Court a little bit earlier. What's your take on her?
Well, I think it remains to be seen. Obviously, she's going to be vetted very thoroughly by both supporters and opponents to see if there's some way that she should be confirmed or not. But the thing to me, Greg, the key issue here is when the president says he wants someone with the quality of empathy. Now, you may want that in a writer, you may want that in a legislator. But the problem is, under the United States Supreme Court, etched are the words equal justice under law. The United States always hasn't lived up to that. We've had a difficult time striving to reach it. And what we shouldn't have are judges on the bench deciding that they like certain plaintiffs more than others.
Good point. The other thing I don't like about empathy is that there's a, when you talk about it, there's a belief that you can only empathize with people who are like you. So as a white male, I can only empathize with a white male, and if you're a Hispanic woman, you can only empathize with a Hispanic woman, when in fact, Congressman, aren't we all human beings?
Yes, we are all human beings, Greg. And the reality is, the sins of the past were that people only empathized with people like themselves, who looked like them, who lived like them, and they were unjust towards people who did not look like them or live like them. And we've striven to go to where Dr. King told us, which is to measure people by the content of their character. And that's where we have to be. If for some reason we try to take the sins of the past and put them in different souls to rectify that past, we will lose the future.
Good answer. Is there a way to question her record and not get smeared as a racist?
Well, I think there's ways to do it intelligibly. I think there's ways that reasonable people can do it. But as you know and I know, Greg, both sides, be they the extreme right or the extreme left, are going to do everything they can to smear people that they don't like, or to support people that they do like. It's just the reality of the political system. It's been this way from the beginning, and it's up to sane people to transcend it and do the right thing.
How do you think your Republican colleagues in the Senate are going to handle the hearings?
Oh, I think they're going to do a very thorough job, a very diligent job. One of the things about the Republican Party has been, in terms of these judicial appointments, both to the lower courts and to the Supreme Court, the Republican Party has understood the constitutional powers of the president to appoint, that he's won a national election, that he's supposed to put people on there who are competent, qualified, and of course honest. And then it's been a pretty good record of the Republican Party of not trying to make this a political inquisition. Unfortunately, that has not been a reciprocal position of the Democratic Party, and certainly not of the extreme left.
God, we're so serious tonight, Congressman. Gee whiz. How about North Korea? Let's move on to North Korea.
That'll lighten things up.
That'll lighten things up a lot. Nuclear war coming up. Armageddon. What's going to happen, Congressman? I bet you have a secret bunker. The moment it happens, you're gone.
Dude, I'm going to be gone because I'm going to be sitting in my house playing my guitar in the garage where my wife lets me smoke. That's my secret bunker.
That's your secret bunker. What should we do about North Korea?
A lowly representative.
Should we be nuking the poop out of them before they nuke the poop out of us? That's a technical phrase.
No, what we have... Yes, thank you for that. Your strategic acumen is overwhelming. What we have to be doing, Greg, is having a serious look at the paradigm in which we find ourselves. That is quite simply this. There is obviously a nexus between North Korea and Iran in terms of technology for missiles and for nuclear development. But the big back door that is wide open for Russia and for that is open for North Korea and Iran is Communist China and Putin's Russia. Until those nations realize that the United States is going to have problems with our relations with them over their failure to act responsibly toward North Korea and Iran, we are going to find ourselves in a continuing situation where our ability to influence the proper resolution of non-proliferation in these matters will be lost. We will start to see our ability to project and defend our interests in both Asia and in the Middle East continue to diminish, and that will put us in a position where some very nasty things are going to happen.
So basically you're saying we should bomb North Korea. I have you as an exclusive saying that.
No, I appreciate that. And you'll be a fine little Pulitzer hound someday showing that type of dexterity with other people's statements.
Hey, let me ask you quickly.
Again, Greg.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you just quickly, because I only got one more time for one more question. There's this conspiracy theory going around that the Obama administration has been targeting Chrysler dealers, the ones that have contributed to Republicans for closing, that those are the ones that are being closed more likely than others. Do you think there's anything to this, or is it just that more car dealerships are owned by Republicans?
I think it is. More car dealerships, they tend to be, as small business owners, they tend to be more Republican. But basically, whether they're Republican or Democrat, they are pillars of their community. Mm-hmm. One of the things we're seeing with the auto dealers is those who are targeted for being taken off the list of licensed franchisees, they can't get a real answer as to why them and nobody else. And this is why the arbitrary nature of it, the capriciousness, leads them to wonder and speculate as to why, and it's very unfair to them.
It is.
So when you hear about this, you have to take it from their perspective. In their community, they're now being told that they are failed as entrepreneurs, failed as business owners, and it's very unfair to them not to know the precise reasons why.
Right. All right, we got to go. Thank you, Congressman McCotter. Always an education and a pleasure talking with you, and see you soon. Everybody else, if you have a comment on what you're seeing, you can email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com.